Okay, everybody, this is the second step-by-step video that I promised you that goes along with the building your LinkedIn profile from the ground up. This video will be focusing on building your credibility and also enabling LinkedIn so that it makes it easier for recruiters to find you. Let's just do a really quick recap of the first video. We added a branded banner, uploaded a professional and inviting headshot, added a value proposition to the headline. In the About section, we added a call to read, a compelling question that compels people to hit the See More button. And then when they do that, they get your story, which is written in the first person. It talks about the person's passions, the reason why they would be great for the job, the value that they would bring. Also at the bottom, there is a call to action, an easy way for the reader to contact you if they'd like to. Also, the specialty section has two purposes. One for SEO optimization, keyword optimization, and the other is just to highlight your skills and experience. We added a colorful PDF to the featured section, something that also draws the eye, makes it more interesting. This is also where I had suggested that you add your video resume, the one that was taught in Madeline Mann's video. In the experience section, because this person is not working in the industry yet, we took the job that she's doing right now and highlighted the transferable skills, things that they are going to need to be in civil engineering, things like a keen eye for detail. Again, we added specialties at the bottom, again for SE optimization. Pretty much mostly that's the reason that we did that. Also added the intern, project intern, so that anybody that's reading it could see that she has at least some experience. And the same thing goes for you. If you have something that you can add here, a practicum, or maybe you did some volunteering, that this would be a great place to do this, in addition to the other sections where you can add your volunteer information as well. Okay. One of the things that I did not add in that previous video was your education. So we're going to put that here now. And the way to do it is to click on the Add section button, go down to background information, and then click on education. And it'll bring up a mask. And you just have to put in the name of the college. This Veronica went to Seneca College. She got a certificate. She got a certificate and in civil engineering, and the year 2019 and finished 2020. And because she's so amazing, she got a perfect score. And also some of the things that she did while she was there, she was also a mentor and a tutor. So you can actually add that in there as well. If you have anything that's an honorable mention, make sure you put it in here. Don't leave it blank. If you've got something relevant and wow to add to it, okay? And by that, it could be something like being on the dean's list, I don't know, valedictorian, that kind of thing, but do build it out if you can. You can also, there's a space here also to add a description, and it's often another really great opportunity to optimize for keywords as well. Here you can actually upload or link media. One of the things you may want to consider putting in there is if you made a video while you were in the BAPSI program that is relevant and to your previous experience, you could add that there as well. Sharing with your network. If you turn this on and save, that means that it is going to send out an alert to everybody that's in your network. If you are in the process of updating things and you don't want to share it with your network as you're saving, make sure you turn it off. So we're going to leave it turned off. All right. And we're going to go ahead and save it. And then when we scroll down, there is the education. And see in here, it actually says that she was a tutor while she was there. All right. So now we're going to start talking about credibility. And there are two things that are vital that you have on your LinkedIn profile with regards to credibility. One is a fully optimized skills section, and the other one is recommendations. Both of them make a huge impact on the algorithms of LinkedIn for people finding you, for the opportunity of you being found, I should say. Now, the way that you get to those is you click on the ad section, scroll down. We're going to work on skills first. Click skills, and LinkedIn has a few suggestions for you. And based on civil engineering, it's recommending things like AutoCAD. There's civil engineering, leadership, let's say customer service. But if there's something else that you want to add, you can also put that in here. Like I'm thinking something in environmental impact assessment. That would be something really important for civil engineers. So we'll put that in, add these, and note that you can actually go up to 50 skills and see really getting a really good LinkedIn profile as far as LinkedIn's concerned anyhow. All righty. So when we come down to the skills section, as you can see, it has given us, it shows 3 skills, and there are more. Like I said, you can go up to 50, and I do suggest that you actually try and get 50 in there as long as they're relevant. Or if you already have a LinkedIn profile, you may want to go back into it and take out anything that's no longer applicable. All right. But let's say Veronica really wants to have this environmental impact assessment right at the very top. Click on the pen. And let's say leadership or AutoCAD may not be quite as important as environmental impact. So we unpin it. We'll go down to environmental impact assessment, pin it, save, and there you have it. It's up where people see it when they first open up your LinkedIn profile. Alrighty, that's skills. And once you actually get the skills in there, you want to try and get a hold of your coworkers, your old bosses, your teachers, anybody that you can think of that will endorse you honestly, okay, in your skills section. For recommendations, now that is probably the most powerful type of credibility builder that there is right now. And I am going to show you how to do that because it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than just adding it to your skills. So if you want to ask somebody for a recommendation, you will look for them on LinkedIn. It's going to bring up your people in your network first, but you're not bound by that. If there's somebody else that's on LinkedIn that's maybe not in your network, you can still type their name in there and find them on LinkedIn and send the request at that point in time. I'm going to be showing you in the next video a little bit more about how to search and find people on LinkedIn. So we're not going to get into it too heavily here, but I am the only person that Veronica has in her network. So we're going to click on me, and that's why I'm the only one that showed up. And there is my profile. Now, the way that Veronica asks me for a recommendation is she goes to my profile, she clicks on the More button and scroll down, and it says request a recommendation. And you click on that and it brings up a mask. It says, how do you know Lynn? And you get a number of options. Say Lynn mentored you. What were you doing when she mentored you? Let's say a student at Seneca College. Next. And there you go. Lynn, could you write me a recommendation? Now, I would suggest that before you actually send anything to anybody, that you speak to them in advance. You ask them whether or not it would be okay to send a recommendation. But one more thing, and this is really also very powerful, is offer to write the recommendation for them. And I know you may be feeling a little bit funny about doing that, but honestly, out of anybody that I've ever asked, the 99% of the time I really appreciate you taking the time to actually write it, because I want to give you a recommendation, but I just don't have the time to think about it right now. So it is, trust me, it's really appreciated. And one of the resources that you're going to find in week 4 here is a list of scripts that you can use, that you can actually, script templates, I guess, that you can use for suggestions on recommendations to write, okay, or to have someone write for you. And then once you have that, you just send it. And that's going to go to Lynn now. And when I receive that, I will say, yes, I love the way that you've got it written down, or I may edit it a little bit and then send it back to Veronica. And when Veronica gets my reply, she can either accept it in the way that it is, or she may just turn around and say, I'd like you to edit it. So, and that's possible too, and then send it back and forth. So you don't have to actually accept the first recommendation that you get. I hope that makes sense. Now, a couple of things I just want to bring to your attention on my profile is when you scroll down, there's my featured section, by the way. So very colorful, things totally pop off the page. My experience sections here, I've added some, also some media to that. Almost all the way through I did that because I want to get as much color and interest as I can. In the bottom where I was talking about something special, when I was going to UVic, I won an award, and my instructor wrote up a really nice thank you and a nice testimonial, and I added that in there. So anybody that's looking at my profile will see that I have really got some solid credibility to bring. All right. I think recommendations, again, I have lots of recommendations, and most of these I have given people scripts or kind of scripts that they can use, and some of them have just actually written them just because they wanted to do it originally, and that's fine. All right, so that's enough of me. I'm going to head back to Veronica now that we have requested a recommendation. And as I said before, I do want to see one recommendation on your LinkedIn profile in order for you to get full marks. One other thing that we want to put in here for credibility is if we could get your accomplishments in here. And there's a variety of different things you can add if you've had something published or patented. Projects, honors and awards are huge. One of the other things that is huge for LinkedIn algorithms is languages. So if you speak one or more languages or more than one language, make sure you put them all in there, because again, it's one of those things that rank you up higher on the algorithms. And another thing a lot of people don't realize that they can do is you can actually have your profile read in other languages. So if your target audience is, say, in France, you can actually set it up so that it reads in French and in English, depending on who is reading it. So that's another really valuable little tool. Okay. You want people to know that you are available to work, and there's 2 ways to actually show that. One is you can go to the open to box, finding a new job, and you have a mask that comes up here. Add the title that you would like to be found for, civil engineering professional. Now, Veronica does not want people to look for a retail supervisor, so we're going to take that out. You can add a number of locations here. California, Chile, you can just keep going and going and going. If you're available in a number of locations. Also, if you're open to remote work, be sure to check the box. And when are you available? Immediately. And what kind of job? I want everything. I want to get my foot in the door. So I'm clicking off everything. Now here is where you have 2 options here. to see who sees that you're open. If you click on the first one, all LinkedIn members, and then add to the profile, what will happen is you'll get this little green open to work banner that shows up under your photograph. Now, I personally don't like it. And the reason that I don't like it is that it sort of smacks of desperation a little bit, and I really hate that. So what I would rather see here is you click on the pen and click on the box here and change this to recruiters only. All right, and then save it. So recruiters will still be able to see that you're looking for work when you do that, but you don't have that green banner showing up. All right. Also, if you are looking to work for a specific company in a specific field, you want to be alerted when jobs come up, you can just click on this little suitcase, I think is what that is. And let's say you want to have a job as a civil engineering professional, and there you go. It's bringing up a lot of positions that are open right now in civil engineering. Let's say you only want to work for one specific company. Let's say, I don't know, IBM. There you go. Oops, there's no results there. So right now, IBM does not have any jobs available in civil engineering. So maybe let's take a look and see if there's another one that might give us a, all right. So GPAC has 90 results. When you click on that, it shows you all of the jobs that are open right now. And if you click on this job alert on, any other jobs that come up with that company, you will be sent a notification of it. All right, so it's a really great feature, really great way to get firsthand when jobs become available. All right, one of the things that is, I hear a lot from recruiters, some of their big beefs, I guess, is when people do not fill out their contact information. And this is how you find it here. If you have another email, you can add more than one email here, whichever one it is that you're using all the time. Also, if you have a website, like the one that you're building in Tyler's class right now, right? You can just go ahead and add a website URL in there. And then it just, again, just another place to showcase who you are. And then you would save it. I'm not going to do anything there right now. Up to you whether or not you use your telephone number or not. I personally would rather not have my telephone number in, but feel free to do that if you want, if you like to receive things by text. Also up to you whether you put your birthday in there. Notice it doesn't say the year, which is great. And if you don't put it in there, that's fine. But if you do, it just is a kind of another nice little way to connect with people or have them connect with you. All right. One thing too that I want to mention is when you sign on with LinkedIn, they assign you a URL that usually has a bunch of numbers at the end of it. And what you'd like to do or what you want to do is change it so that it's something that is easier for people to remember. And also get rid of the numbers because it does make you look like a newbie. So what we'll do here is let's see, Jones, and put her first name, let's see. All righty. Now, depending on how popular this name is, it may or may not be available, but let's see what happens when we save it. Oh, look at that. Okay, so it was available. If your name is Mary Smith and you go to try and save it, chances are it's going to come up and tell you, no, this has already been taken, and you may have to mess around with different variations to come up with something. Maybe put a hyphen in. Sometimes if you just put the names in backwards, or put your middle initial in, that sort of thing. Those are some suggestions on how to make it easy for people to read as well as identify you. Another thing that you want to make sure that you do when your profile's public visibility is that you have it on public. All right. This makes sure that anybody that's looking for you will be able to find you on LinkedIn. All right. Sometimes recruiters may not be using their um, recruiter, LinkedIn recruiter package. You may not know what that is, but there is actually a package that recruiters buy through LinkedIn. It's extremely expensive. So there are some smaller companies that don't actually use it, but again, it helps if you have it open to the public. All right. Make sure you have all your buttons open so that everybody can see your photo and your headlines and so on. Make sure, again, always have your photo, although we don't normally advise having a photo on your resume, North America at least, that in LinkedIn, you must have it, all right? Otherwise, it just, that's a credibility destroyer if you don't, so you must have it in there. I think that, oh yes, and the other thing too, the reason that you want to have that at public as well, if you don't have it there, only your first level connections are going to be able to see your face. All right. Now, I'll just actually answer one quick question because you might be wondering what a first level connection is. If those are people that are your direct connections that you actually have connected with. Second level connections are connections of your first level connections. All right. And then third are connections of your second level connections, and it goes on from there. So with the free LinkedIn package, you should be able to see your first level connections and your second level connections. I know it sounds very confusing, but I will be talking a little bit more about that in the next video. Alrighty, everybody. So that is it for this video. And like I said, the next one that I'm going to be putting together is going to be a lot about networking and finding and sharing information on LinkedIn. And until then, let's say goodbye. And until then, have fun and reach out to me if you run into any issues. Thank you. Bye now.